Hello everyone, this is Enoch here. Today I'm going to show how a form builder works in BlueEHS. We are sorry we had some technical difficulties and so we couldn't broadcast this on time. We are late by 5 minutes, but still we can go ahead with the form building which we have as a feature in BlueEHS. BlueEHS allows you to build your own set of forms for your practice. You can have these forms in your practice so that it reduces the paperwork you do, uh, and all the encounter notes can be put in these forms, and then you can have that as a record in a structured way. So BlueEHS allows each and every user to have their own set of forms. So today I'm going to show you how we're going to build that form using the form builder feature we have in BlueEHS, and then we will look into how a user can have his or her own set of forms in the encounter. Okay, so to begin with, only the administrators in the system can build this form. Uh, so only the administrator will have an access to the form builder, but still, if you want that access, you can always do that from the module installer. You can ask your administrator to give you an access of the form builder feature, which is there in the BlueEHS. So the form builder is available under the submenu, that is the form. And if you just click it here, you have these options, new and list. So to begin with, if you have a new form in the system, you just click on plus button and it will ask you for a form ID, which you can give that in random, or if you have a form name, you can name the form. Now I'm gonna build a form for an allergist which I have. So I will name this form as allergy form. Excuse me. I'm sorry, for some technical reason I couldn't show you the forms uh, for a while. And now if you can see this, so this is the form which I was talking about. So I'm going to build this particular form in the form builder, and I will show you how to do that in the BlueEHS. So in BlueEHS, I'll once again show you where the form builder is available. So you will have that form builder under the sub menu. You have something called forms, and if you just click it, and you will be brought to this screen. So this is where you can build your own set of forms, and I'm going to build a form for an allergist. Okay. So I just click on new, and then I give a form ID. Form ID can be the name of the form. Save it. So I've already created a form using that name, allergy form. We'll try a different name. Okay. So this will be a blank screen first, and then you can build your own set of forms using the data types which is available in the form builder. So you have a number of data types which is there in the form builder, and you can have these data types build your form efficiently and also in a beautiful manner. So This form building is very easy, and there is no code that is being needed. Everything is listed here, and you just have to drag and drop them, rename them. So it is very easy. It is a very user-friendly form builder feature which we have built in the system just for the providers to have their own set of forms into the system. It reduces the paperwork, it reduces your time. Alright, to begin with, I will create a group name which will be the onset. I will create two groups. One is the onset. Inside the allergy form, you can create different set of groups, or you can have uh, one group under which your entire form can be brought in. So the next one is if you see here, this is the onset, and then you have frequency, description, associated symptoms, and then triggers, medications. So these are different groups available in this form. So I'm going to build this form with just three groups, which is the onset, frequency, and the description, so that it will be clear of how you can build your own set of forms. So now I'm going back to this is the form which has different groups, and now I'm going back to BlueEHS. I'm sorry, we are experiencing some technical glitch in the system, so I apologize for any inconvenience that is caused. Alright. So this is a group, onset is a group, and now I'm going to build this form with 4 questions. Okay. So first question, you can put it as a text box just to put in your answers there. So if you see, I'm renaming this title as when was the just click OK. Automatically your form will have this question. If you feel that this answer needs a lot of space, you can go into the settings which we have and merge these cells. So automatically that will be expanded and you will have the question in one single line. So if you click on preview, it will show you how this form will look in the system. So under onset, you have when was the first time you ever had hives. So I'm going to put the next question, so on and so forth. Now I have the third question, which is a different set of options that is there in the form. So if you want like a checkbox, a radio button, you can always use that. And we have something called toggle buttons, which will look more attractive than a checkbox and a radio button. So I'm just dragging this toggle button there so that I can create a list of options. So if you see, the third question is there anything? So for this, you need to create a list. So I will show you how to create a list using the form builder. So I have four options here, which is stress, infection, medicine, and other. So I will click on this list, which is available here. So here I can create a new list. I will give the list option ID as 1, or I think I have a duplicate. So once the list has been added, I will add the title as stress, the options to the list, infection, new medicine. So I'm not going to add others here. You can add other as an option, but you can add other as an option, and then if you click on other, automatically a text box should appear and you should be able to fill that. So I'm just clicking this, I'm just saving this list, and you should remember what list name you gave. So it is stress options. So I'll just close this. I will come back to the question, and then you have something called list, and here you select it as stress options. Click OK, and automatically all your options will be available here. So I will go again into the settings, and I will see if this works. And you have this other, and then here a free text. So for a free text, you can just drag in the text box here, and then you can edit the title. You can remove the title and click OK. Automatically a box will be added, so that if you click on other, you can just type in what other means. So if you want to preview, this is how your form will look. So you can select stress, infection, new medicine, or other. So this is a single selection, and if you want to select more than one options, you have toggle button multi-selection. The fourth question is a bigger question. So I will use a text area. So the difference between a text box and a text area is a text area you can fill a complete paragraph in that text area, wherein this text box is restricted to certain amount of words you enter, certain amount of letters you enter. So this text area you can enter an entire paragraph. So I will rename this as And if you see, this is the difference between a text box and a text area. So the text area you can drag as big as you want and then enter the entire paragraph there. Wherein a text box you cannot enter more than 255 or 300 words, letters. Now I have the fifth question, which has only two options, and that is kind of an yes or no. So I will use a toggle button single selection, and I will rename this. So in order to create this, you need a list. So for that, I will click on list, and again I will select the list ID, and then give the list a name, create new list, and give the options as sinuses. And under this list, you select teeth, that is the list name which you created, okay, and you have this. So the onset part is over, so I will show you the original form, how it looks. So this is the original form which has onset. So if you see, this is the form which we created using our form builder, and this is how the form is looking in the form builder. So this way you can have your own set of forms for your particular practice. And now I'm going to show you, I will create another group, and these unwanted rows, you can remove these unwanted rows by just clicking on the row, remove row, and you can have one row so that the gap is maintained between the groups. I'm adding another group which says frequency. I will put a toggle button single selection, which has three options in it. And next I have a free text which says so the frequency group is over. So now I'm saving this form after finishing this group. So if you see in the preview, so we have created two groups, that is the onset and the frequency, and this onset is this and this is the frequency, and I will show you the real form how it is. So if you see, this is the real form, which is the onset and the frequency. And this is in BlueEHS how you created the form. You can collapse and expand the different groups in the form. And the third one, I will create a new group which will have the doctor's signature, and I will move around all these data types which we have in the form. I create a new group. Doctor's signature. So in this form, we have different types of data types. So you have a drop down, which I can show you here. So if you have a list, which is a single selection, you can always keep that as a drop down, or you can keep that as radio buttons, or you can keep that as checkboxes. So if you see, I have two options here. One is the teeth and the other one is the sinuses. Okay, so this is one selection. So what I will do is I will go in here and I will change the data type to drop down. So if you change the data type to drop down, automatically you will have a drop down with these two options. Now I will change it to a radio button or a checkbox. Checkbox is a normal data type which you have, and if you see, this is the teeth and sinuses. And if you want, you can make that as radio buttons the same way. So now, before entering anything in the forms, so if you want to have a date in the form, so what do I do? So you have a date data type in the form builder, which is the date data type, and if you can just drag this here, automatically the date will be populating there. Then I will give this at state of service. Automatically this will have a date. So if you want a pre-filled date, so I don't have to go in every time and put in the date. I want the date with the text, with the system date. So you can also have that using our date with text, text date with default. So I will remove this and you put in the text date with default, and automatically that will have the today's date by default. So if you preview it, This is how your form will look. In this doctor signature, we currently have in the users tab, you can have your signature and you can enable it anytime you want. But just to show the different data types we have in the form builder, I can show you how doctor signatures can be made and put it as a last group in the form. So in doctor signature, if you see, I will go into the image uploader. So this image uploader helps you to upload image to the form. So I will give this a title, and you can browse similarly as you browse in any of your computer screen. So I will go into pictures and I can just put in here and just click on upload. The image size is bigger than the okay. The next thing is a static text, and if you want this static text in the form builder, you can have the static text just by taking this. You give a title to that static text, or you say a note, and then come in here and put in the note. If you have any copyright or if you have any uh, thing that should come in every form you have, that is by default you have a note, so it will automatically come. And if you see, this note will always be there in all the forms. That is the help of the static text. And this patient details will automatically pull the patient's name, his date of birth, and everything into the system. So I'm just pulling this patient details uh, data type, and I will show you how it is. So this patient details is will have the last name, first name, the middle name, the state, the zip, the gender, date of birth, phone number, occupation, and social security number, etc. So if you select a patient, automatically all this field will be filled, and I will show you once we have put in this form to a patient. And then we have various number of data types which you can go through. We have title, we have codes, and we have formulas. You have age calculator. So file uploader is something which is similar to image uploading. So in image you can upload the images, and in file you can upload any PDF reports or any other Word documents to the encounter. So now, after finishing this form, I will just save the form and I will just move quickly to the combination form. So once you finish this form, it will be listed under the layout based forms in the combination form. So I will show you how it is. So take another tab, and under submenu you have something called the combination form, and this is where you can make forms available to different doctors at different point of time. So now I will create a new form, combination form. So if you see, I will create a initial visit form, and you can select to which providers this form should be available. So if you are saying that only Doctor 1 and Doctor 2 must have this form, you just select that, and then similarly you can select for which particular facility you want that form. So I am selecting Foothill and Georgia Medical Clinic, and then you can also have this form for different visit categories. One is the new patient, And if you want it for a cancer patient also, you can have that for a cancer patient. And then I will click on the building blocks. The building blocks will have all the system built forms, which is pre-built in the system, and you can take the forms, and this is the layout based forms which will have R forms. So if you see, the form which I built was allergy, and it is there in the layout based. So I will just drag this, and you can have the patient's demographics also in the form. And if you want a system based, say you want diagnoses, just you have to drag and drop everything. It is very easy. If you want the vitals, you can drag. And then you go into the print settings. Now you can ignore print settings, or if you want form to look the way it should be, like if you have a covering letter, so you can add that here. So in print settings, you can add the covering letter of your office, your facility, and now I will show you how to do that. So now you just select a file, you just upload this. Okay. So if you have a logo in here, you can put that logo here, and then you can type in as you want the service facility, and you want the patient's name below it, and then you want the date of birth, and below that the date of service. And here, if you want the service facility address, you can also have that. And you can customize it the way you want. You can change the font size. I will give it 20, and I will make it bold. Okay. So you can have a footer if you want patient's name on every page in the center and date of birth to the right. If you want date of service, you can have that also. So after this, after completing this, you just click on save. You just click on no create single form, because if you click on multiple forms, it will create one form each. So I'll click on no create single form, and now your initial visit form is being added. The only thing you have to do is go into a patient. I will take a test patient which says John Doe. I will take a test patient. I will create an encounter for this patient. So if you see, I create new encounter. There I give the visit category as new patient, because that particular form which we had built is available only for the new patient. And then you have the facility which you gave as Foothill or Georgia. So both the facilities will have forms, and you have to select the provider on which the form should reflect. So it is Dr. 1 or Dr. 2. I am giving Dr. 1, and the billing facility. These are all not mandatory fields, so you can select either one of these, but these three categories are very important while you build a form. When you are creating a combination form, just save it. So once saved, you will have your initial visit form in the drop down. If you see, you have the patient's demographics and the form which you built, which has all the options. And if you see, I have given the patient details, which has the last name, first name, the middle name, and all the other information of that particular patient. So the patient's state is Virginia and it says VA and it doesn't have a zip code, so it is not showing it. So see, this is how you can build your own set of forms using our form builder option in the BlueEHS. So if you have anything like, just fill in the form and I select everything and then I put in sinus teeth, and if you see the date of service is automatically there to the 28th, and then I go onto the frequency, I select rarely or occasionally, and I put in as. So after saving this, automatically you can save all forms, and then you can see how the print works. So you just click on print, and automatically your form will look something like this. So you have allergy, which has all the onset and frequency as their uh, groups, and then you have all the information. And if you see, you will have, you will also have the facility, which is the Foothill, and the address is A2 Block, California. This is their number, and it will have the patient name, date of service, and if you have a logo, you can put in there. So this is all I have for today, and if you have any doubt in form building, you can email me to enoch@zhservices.com. That is ENOCH at zhservices.com. And if you have any doubts now, I have a couple of minutes, so you can ask me if you have any doubt. You can just send me a chat and I can answer you. Thank you so much, viewers, for your time, and thank you so much for coming today. And it is glad uh, to show you the form builder which I had. So meet you in the next webinar. Until then, thank you. Good night.